Have you hired personal trainers before in person or online, but just found that they weren't catered to you? That's exactly where my client, Mr. X, found himself for years. And it took a leap of faith for him to join us. But since he started working with us, he's lost over 60 pounds. And more importantly, he has learned how to keep it off and stayed with us with his weight down at 179 for the last 4 years. Now, let me highlight exactly how we helped him lose that weight and how you can do the same thing. You see, when he came to us, he was frankly upset with what he saw in the mirror. He was working hard in the gym, he was working hard personally, professionally, but he simply was not making progress despite all the time, effort, and money he was spending to get into better shape. And because of it, because he's a trial attorney, he didn't feel his best even when he was presenting in the courtroom, even though he had years of experience. Because regardless of how experienced we are in something or not, if we do not feel ultimately comfortable in our skin, if we are not maximizing our confidence, we are not going to show up as the best version of ourselves anywhere, whether it's at home, whether it's at work, whether it's in the bedroom, whatever it is. And what he was doing before was trying lots of Peloton, high intensity interval workouts, piecing together different things from the internet, trying to burn more calories, but it simply was not working for him. And so what we did was came up with a step-by-step plan that wasn't built for anybody else. It wasn't Orange Theory. It wasn't just trying to burn calories. It was coming up with a step by step plan that fit his busy schedule and the high stress demands that he has to go through in order to help him not only look his best, but feel and perform his best. And by extension, he's actually getting married this upcoming year. So big shout out to you, buddy. And so a couple of things that he mentioned. He said, hey, I'm a busy lawyer in Southern California. I've tried other trainers and other workout programs, but there are always issues with those. They were not tailored uniquely to me. They took way too much time on a daily basis. And when they ended, there was no future plan, which was frustrating. He said he gave me a try. That was a great decision. And he told me exactly what he wanted. And then I created that plan for him. In his words, he said, workouts are challenging but enjoyable. I am done, warm up and all in less than an hour. Cardio, weight training, all done in tandem to make the workouts fast paced and effective. They're tailored to his body and help him look and feel the way that he wants. It's not just about burning calories, it's about building muscle in the right spots. He went on to say, Eric helped me simplify my diet. He keeps me accountable to the standards we agreed upon, and the results are there. I've leaned out, and while losing body fat, I'm also building muscle. My former lagging body parts are now a strength. More importantly, I finally have a long term solution to stay strong, lean, and healthy despite my busy schedule. So thank you very much. I sincerely appreciate those kind words. And so the thing to understand specifically when we were working together is he had tried so many different things and he was making the mistake of doing workouts that were predicated on burning as many calories as possible. This is the last thing you want to do, and I'm going to tell you why. First, when you measure calories, say on your Apple Watch, they're typically off by 30 to 50%. What a lot of people do is then they factor in how many calories they are burning into their diet, and then they end up eating many of those calories back. This is where it gets wild. You see, because these trackers are off by 30 to 50% on average, and people are actually off by tracking their food by about 25%, we can have 25 to 50% error in terms of how many calories you're actually burning, how many calories you're taking in. And so when you focus your workouts purely on unreliable metrics, you end up doing a lot of things that seem like they should be right, but not getting results. And so, specifically, the first thing that we did is we went through our metabolic reboot protocol. We actually pulled back on his training and we focused in on his diet. We used some elements of intermittent fasting and a low carbohydrate diet. By extension, we created a calorie deficit, which helped him lose fat. And that was the original 20 to 30 pounds. But this important aspect, and the reason he's been able to keep it off, is we focused on our priming protocol. You see, when we lose weight, our metabolism actually slows down. So, what we needed to do was actually go through different time periods of increasing his calories, bringing them back down, increasing calories, bringing them back down. And by extension, not only is he able to lose body fat, but he's able to do so while preserving testosterone, thyroid function, all of these things across the board. What I do specifically is jump in and create a plan that's going to be built uniquely for you. Mr. X, what he focused on before, he would hire trainers and they would just piece together some workout that felt really good, worked for about 3 weeks, and then they would plateau. You probably had the same experience whether you've done exercise classes, apps, or whatever it is. The reality is, if you want to be able to get from where you're at right now to a strong, lean, jacked body and be able to keep it, it's going to require a different approach than you've taken to get to this current place, right? And so that's exactly what we do is handcrafting every single aspect of your coaching program to make sure that we're building a plan that fits around your lifestyle. It fits around the other demands that you do have. Because if you don't have that, you're going to do everything right and it feels like nothing works. And so, just like Mr. X, what do we focus on? Fully personalized training in terms of training, nutrition. This third aspect right here is even more important, is the lifestyle. You see, in his case, while he's an attorney, that's super high stress, low sleep, and he's going to have time periods where he's 60, 70, 80 plus hour work weeks. And so, if you approach an 80-hour work week the same way that you would a 20-hour week when you're 25 and try to work out the same, it's just going to backfire. So, the difference between where you are now and where you want to go is having a plan that's handcrafted and built specifically for you right now and is based on data and improving with a structured, proven plan, not just throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks. So if you're a man, 30, 40, 50, like Mr. X here, 50 to 54, lost 60 pounds and wanted to keep it off, then this is the correct coaching program for you. All you have to do is head over to bachperformance.com/call. What we'll do is we'll set up a time to chat. We'll break down what's holding you back, come up with the simple next steps to be able to help you look great naked without living in the gym. And more importantly, help you develop the habits and the skills you need to keep that permanent transformation. All right. I will talk to you soon. And if you are watching this thinking, I don't know if it's right, that's a sign. That's a sign that you have to be doing something different if you expect to get a different result. All right. I'll talk to you soon.